Hello friends, welcome to Java Swing tutorial. So in the past two video we learned about the file filter abstract. So let's quickly go through those part 2 videos, then we will land into the Eclipse demo. Alright, now it's a demo time. Now we will open Eclipse Oxygen. So this is our initial JFrame window. So it is resized to hold only one button. When we click that button, it will launch the JFileChooser dialog. So in this example, our goal is to display the JFileChooser dialog with two filters. One filter is for lib file and the other filter is for jar file. So this is where we will keep our classes. The main entry which will make a call to our JFrame demo. JFrame demo is here. So displaying a frame window is explained in the very first video of this Swing video tutorial series. Now we will create the filter class. Lib file filter and superclass is so if you see here, the UI is not displaying the, let's put a dot. Okay, so it's not displaying the file chooser. We will type it manually, file chooser dot and file filter. So since it's an abstract class, there is a sign here. We need to override two method. So alright, so this is our class file lib file filter, which is derived from or extending from file filter from javax.swing.filechooser package. So our file filter extends from javax.swing.filechooser package, and it's an abstract class. And you can see it's a abstract and that defines two methods. One is accept and another one is getDescription. And you can see these two methods are marked as abstract. That means the moment you extend this file filter, you are forced to implement those two methods, or you can still mark it as abstract, but that's not our goal. Here we will implement those two methods. That means we will override those two methods. Those two methods in the sense accept as well as getDescription. So I'm just placing the cursor here and then choosing add unimplemented methods. You can see it placed both the methods accept as well as getDescription. So now one class is ready For now, ignore these two errors. We haven't yet implemented it. We just kept the comment. Now we will go to the package explorer and we will create the jar file filter. So the skeleton is ready. Now we have lib file filter as well as jar file filter. So to avoid this error, for now we will return false. Return an empty string. The same thing we will do for jar file filter also. Let's go to our JFrame demo, and if you see, this is extending from a JFrame, and this is what called in the main method. When we initially ran this application, we saw a dialog with no components. Now we will add a button control to it. This should be in JFrame demo. So test file chooser. So that's what we added here. Then in the control host, we added that button. Now the form looks like this. When we click this, we will open the JFileChooser dialog. So our next step will be creating the JFileChooser dialog. So here at class level, we create the instance of JFileChooser dialog. So in the previous example also, we created a JFileChooser dialog, and when the JFileChooser dialog is displayed, it contains only one filter. That's the default filter, and the filter is show all files. That means it will show all the files as well as a folder. Now we are going to add two display filter. Now we are going to add two file filter to this JFileChooser dialog. So at this stage, our JFileChooser is ready but not yet displayed. So before displaying that, we will use the add choosable file filter function to submit our lib file filter and jar file filter. At this moment, these two filters are not yet implemented, but we are preparing the JFileChooser to use this filter. Next, we will implement this J button. J button is a click event, and in the click event we will launch this JFileChooser dialog. Now this JFileChooser dialog is set with two filters. BTN test. After typing new, I am doing a control space. So this will bring up anonymous inner type. Once you double click, you will see the handler function. So in the handler function, we will actually display our file chooser. Show open dialog. So this we already saw in the previous video. Previous video in the sense previous video series, when we learned about the basics of JFileChooser. The time we displayed the JFileChooser dialog, the same stuff we are using. The only difference is this time we set the JFileChooser dialog with the two filter options, and these filter options are not yet implemented. Anyhow, at this moment we can test what it is doing. So it opens the JFileChooser dialog, and if you see, this is what called the file filters. At this time we have only all files, even though we supplied the add choosable file filter with the two filters. That filters are not yet implemented, so that's why it doesn't show anything. So we will open the lib file filter. So at present it is returning empty string. Now we return Java library files star.lib. The same way we will return a valid string for our jar file filter as well. So now we will go to the accept. So when we navigate to the folder structure, for now let me keep return false for everything else. So at this moment, if you see, this accepts a file as parameter, and we are making call to the is directory function of the file instance, and if it is a directory we are returning true, otherwise we are returning false. That means it won't filter any file at all. It will hide all the files, displays only the directory. Now let's run it and see what happens. We have one filter is set, which is Java library file, and if you see, it has one file. Let's browse some other folder. And if you see here, we have two directory and there are some files. The moment I choose Java library files, this will make a call to our accept method. So what happens, it will call accept method by supplying mission control. So the first time the mission control is passed here as a file object. Next visual VM. Next all these files. These are all files, right, from here to end. So that means 2, 4, 6, 7 and another 7, 14. This method will be called 14 times, and the accept method will tell this JFileChooser dialog which file it needs to display and which one it should not. So here we have written it here in such a way that if it is a directory, I am accepting it because the method is accept. I am accepting it. Otherwise I am not accepting. That means we are accepting only these two and we are skipping all these, all the files. Alright, so the accept will get called when I click Java library files. And you can see now it is displaying only the directories. Now if I go to any folder, I won't see any file at all. So I see only the directory. This is because that's how we have written the accept here. Alright, now you may have an idea of what this accept is doing. Now we will proceed. Previously we saw the file chooser dialog is showing only the directory, but we want to see the library file as well, because that's the filter here. So we are making use of the incoming parameter file object. First we used the isDirectory function. Now we are using the get name that will give the file name. Then we are finding the last index of using the dot, and we are using the length. So this will give the start position and this will give the last index position. From there we will get if extension start is less than 0, we are returning false. Otherwise, okay, here, okay. So let me remove this return. So if extension start is less than 0, we are returning false. Why? Because there will be some file that will not come with the extension at all. So in that case we have to return false. So our goal is to accept only the file that has the extension, and if that has the extension, that should be the lib. So if file doesn't have extension at all, ultimately we have to return false. That means we should not accept that. Next, if you see, we are declaring the extension. Then we use extension start and extension end to find the extension using the substring function. So file name we already retrieved here, get name, file name. Then we found the index position for this period. So the file name may have multiple periods, that's why we are getting last index of. Finally we get the extension. Then we are checking extension dot equal ignore case dot lib. If it is true, that means the extension whatever we retrieved from the file name is actually .lib, then we are returning true. Otherwise we are returning false. The same kind of implementation goes for our jar file filter. So I'll just post the code here so that you can watch it. Now we'll go to jar file filter. So we change the description to return Java jar file star.jar. Then since the implementation is same, I'm not going to explain all this stuff. You can see the same stuff is going here. Only change here is a .jar, that's all. So we followed the same logical implementation of this lib file filter. We just changed the star.lib to star.jar. Now let's run this once again. So we completed with our implementation, and that's all here. Now we will run this application once. So now we kept it as all files. Let's go to C drive, program files, Java. If you see, when I am navigating here, that time itself it will try to accept the filter. Since here what is chosen is all files, it won't perform any filter at this moment. So here it is displaying txt files at the JDK level. Now let me go to lib, and you can see all the files are displayed. Now let me go back to 2 level above and choose lib file. Now I am browsing and you can see only the directory is displayed. Now I am choosing lib and you can see it displays only the lib file. When I choose jar, it will display only the jar file. So once you set the filter, when you navigate to different browser, the filter is applied for all the navigation here. So when I change the navigation, now it is displaying the new list of directory and files, right? So it will make a call to our accept method. So small accept method, and performs the filter. So at present we are in a jar file filter. So it runs through the accept for each and every file. After that, when accept method says true, then only the particular file is displayed. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.